Good afternoon, everybody. How you all doing? Really amazing day today, insofar that there's 11 chainsaws leaving today, a couple of which are a real pull. So I shall be doing a brief video overview for, well, 6 have gone to one gentleman, John, and 5, Mike. So Mike, we'll start with yours. I'll probably break it into 2 videos just because probably the length of time and the variety. So Mike, you've got some absolute beauties, and actually out of all the 11 saws, it's hit and miss with one other one, but you've got one amazing saw, and they're becoming so rare, and I'll explain why it's so rare. So Mike, you've got a real spectrum. You have the beautiful 011 AVT, so the stubby handle, top handle from Stihl. What do these make? Just over 41 cc's and never been cut with by me. Just a show saw. Absolutely, make sure that is off. Fantastic compression engine, and running wise, you know, when the engines are really fresh and they're just different when they come off the top, just because of the compression and how they fire. So absolutely flawless, just starts instantly, and it's not been worked on, hasn't had the carburet off it, nothing's been stripped off. As you see here, just a thing of beauty. Really interesting, these as well, this series of saw based on the 9, 10, the 11 and the 12 chassis. And how many people get the dates wrong? So, okay, this from 1980, just beautiful. Mike, hope you love the 011, that's a special saw. That one's not yours, that's John's, isn't it? That's John. Okay, this one's yours. There. So, this is another one, untouched. I'm not sure how long this one's been on the shelf. So this is one of the really underrated as well. Beautiful saws. This is a Pioneer P20, and there are a load in this particular series from Pioneer, and all with very tiny differences. Really unusual, the construction, oil tank, fuel tank, in the same crankcase right at the very front. Runs something called Easy Arc, which I personally love the Easy Arc design. When you pull the starter handle, it actually engages. It's like a large C spring clip or a sprung piece of steel, and as you pull forward on the helical winding, it actually uses the mechanism to run the decompression valve. Nothing's been done to it compression wise. Excellent compression, produces a spark. So these were, what were these made? The P20s, early 70s, only a small run. 70, I'm trying to think what they actually run. I'm sure they're a 1.625 by 1.5, so a 41 mil 38 stroke, something like that. Yeah, 41, 38. Yeah, beautiful saw. Just beautiful, beautiful saws. Just untouched, uncleaned, all original paint. Mike, that's a beauty, the P20. Hope you love that one. Then you had, oh, we've got to save the best till last, Mike. MS250. Let's see how she runs today. So, genuinely as well, this was just taken off the shelf the other day. Had the long life fuel in it. Nothing's been off it. Absolutely nothing. It's a real, I guess it's a real tribute to you know, the manufacture of some of the later saws as well. So that's the MS250, real late for me as well. That's a 2010. Has the quick release filler caps, genuine steel bar. I mean, beautiful lightweight saw. Really, not ones I ever really cut with either. I'm kind of personally buried with. I just love using the 1960s and 70s saws. They're just different for me. But I can see the attraction. Weight, one arm, just. So that's the MS250. Okay, back in time, Mike, for you. Actually, this is a really interesting saw. So, this was a one-owner saw. Travelled. People wouldn't believe if I said how far I travelled for this saw. I bought it from a guy who had this one from brand new, and this is. It's not an unusual designation, but this is the 08S EQ, so the electronic quick stop. So it's the one where Stihl have taken the old design and then reworked the crankcases and managed to integrate the chain brake and keeping most of the other components that look identical, but there's some differences around the chassis, just little bits. So started life in the year 08 and 61. A few years later you had them change over, different bore and stroke to the 08S, and but some very interesting date designations you can get from just from a visual perspective when you look at this saw, which is, it's got the inset chrome badge on the oil tank, but the real clue for the date as well then is the orange logo badge riveted to the left side cover. So Stihl moved manufacturer for these to, how many of you know where they moved manufacturer of this saw to? And also then the logo change, so you know when you see this badge introduced 1977, New Year's Day. And actually that's very interesting as well. I had a couple of people mentioned, so maybe there's some information that people have looked at and seen some incorrect information somewhere else. So these weren't changed in 73 and they weren't changed in 76. The official date logo change is 77. So whether or not people are confusing, Andreas Stihl died in 1973, so the founder of Stihl Chainsaws passed away in 1973 and he was 76 years old, so maybe people have misread the information. But the logo changed in 77, Jubilee year. Right, have I shown this running? Again, it's never taken a disc, it's just on display. Paint's fresh, the wrap is beautiful, just a beautiful engine. Oh, might need throttle up, might we? We might need choke. Hey Mike, so again, never taken a disc, bought it off the shelf, fires instantly. It's got the original Stihl. I think it measures 20, but I think they're a nominal 21, the Roller-Matic in this size. Hope that's a wonderful addition to your collection. It's really nice having the EQ version for a number of reasons. It's a very interesting comparison to the build quality with a West German saw, and this series of saw interestingly spans the, anybody know what dates does it span which change the designation of this saw? So that's the 08S, a beauty. Okay, right, this next saw is the absolute, well, certainly the ones out here, yep, and then it's, for me it's the epitome again of the 1950s, just a spectacular saw. Like you're in the very, you're in the very exclusive club of having Teles, a Teles OM, which is the one man, and really interesting saw. So Teles, often people misspeak about the name, which is a capital T, a lowercase e, a capital L, lowercase e and a capital S. So Teles Smith, Teles, and they started back in the 20s, and their original drag saws, which if any of you don't know what, you ought to look up the drag saws, they're incredible machines. They used to run the Villiers cast iron blocks at 250 and 350 cc's. 1952, bit of a sea change for Teles. This is a mag alloy, a cast alloy block instead, cylinder, and so kept the weight down to, you know, 45 to 50 pounds. But it's they can run up to a 30-inch bar. So this is the 25 series Villiers engine, which is 147 cc's, launched in 52, and it's just a work of art. Obviously gearbox with a clutch lever, oil tank at the front. The things which people just don't know about some of the early engineering. They have a captive ball bearing on the mag alloy tank. Me and my dear friend Jeff, we often laugh about the lightweight engineering of the day. And so you can rotate the tank and you'll hear the ball bearing, which is sprung loaded, engage on the circular disc with holes cut out around it, because of course they're a slide carburettor, the little lever for the throttle. Yeah, 1952, original caps. And often the things you see missing on these are, they run this beautiful windowed bar. It's the gorgeous original chain, fabulous tooth life. Has the original two-man handle at the front. They're always on the ground and all the tin work is just rotten. And the pull start is really unique. So it's obviously got a recoil spring, but it runs one of these, almost like a cheese wire, so it's a Bowden cable, a steel Bowden cable, just like a lot of the military saws. And this little plunger on the side is a sprung-loaded plunger, which lets you engage the starter, and then you get the compression. And she's a brute. Never been disassembled. Same owner for over 30 plus years. Always stored off the ground, and just, what is there to say? What a thing of beauty. Mike, hope you love this. That's the Teles one-man OM, and has the original plates in on the side, original warning plate, model plate. Whenever you see these, this starter mechanism is almost impossible to find like this, perfect. The tin work is always rotten. The mag alloy side of this here on the left, it's always got some damage or broken. Has the correct felling spike. I hope you love the saw, Mike. She's an absolute beauty. Just, you're in a very exclusive club to have a complete OM. I also found for her, which Jeff, shout out, my dear friend, information acquired halfway around the world with the original prices and designation, how they used to supply that back in the 50s. So 1952. So that girl then, some 72 years old. Right. Woodpecker up in the tree. Mike, hope you love the saws. John, I'll do your video next. Bye for now. Bye.